What's up, everybody? I tell you, when technology works, it's a wonderful thing. But when it doesn't, you end up with sweat on your back like I have right now. Just trying to get on the show. It was unbelievable. But anyway, welcome to What the Fuck Tuesday. It's the relationship advice live stream that we do every Tuesday, where people send in their letters in advance. My cousin puts them into a document. I read the questions and then I respond to them off the cuff first time I hear them is when you hear them. So, people who say, well, what do they mean? And give me some, what are they saying? And what about this and that? I don't know. I don't know any more about it than you do. I heard the question just when you did. I want to make sure that you understand, those of you who would say, hey, I want to get an advice question on this show. That's what you do right here. You just send it on in. You can use the link in the show description down below, or for YouTube up at the very top there. There's like a little green button that says Get Advice at the very top of the show page. It takes you to the same form, but that's what you click, and that's how you submit your question if you want to be considered, your issue to be considered for inclusion on another show, all right? So since we're running late, I'm just going to get started like right away. None of my usual witty banter, all right? But hi, everybody. Thanks for sitting around and waiting so patiently. Oh, you sent me something, Vanna? Okay, good. Oh, you guys, we're going to do this really good stuff on the week. I'm still looking for guests, though. But just in case I can't find any since it's so last minute, on Friday evening, we will be back here and we're going to talk about the violence that's going on in the Black community towards Black women and girls. It's just unbelievable. The statistics are frightening. So we're going to talk about that on Friday, same time. So be right here on Friday, and then you can be part of that conversation too. It's Vanna's helping me with my research. All right, here we go. Question number 1. This is a female in the 30 to 36 age group from Phoenix, Arizona. Wait a minute. You know what? I just thought of something. I see 26 here, not the usual 25. Okay, so we got 26 questions today. Female, 30 to 36. Okay. Hi, Deb and Candace. Thank you for choosing my letter. So this is the issue. My third grade daughter was talking tonight about how her teacher's reading the book Holes to the class. Oh, I remember that book vaguely. We talked for a while about the characters, the storyline, which chapter they were in so far, etc. Then out of nowhere, she said that the students in her class take turns rubbing the teacher's back and shoulders while reading to the class. Somebody got a death wish. Apparently, the teacher puts a taller stool behind her chair and has the kids take turns giving her a massage. My daughter said that a circle of kids gathered around her and pressured her into taking a turn because, quote, she was new and hadn't done it yet. We just moved here from Tucson. I'll say, where are you? Oh, Phoenix. Okay. Well, that's not that far. She told us that in her gut, she didn't want to, but felt like she had to. My husband and I are both gymnastics instructors and know for a fact that any adult working with children should never allow inappropriate or unnecessary touching between students, teachers, nor students and students. We believe that what this teacher is practicing will teach children that they should not trust their instincts, abandon their boundaries, and trust that all adults mean well when requesting to be touched. In this case, we are pretty sure the teacher's not being a pervert. However, we are shocked that this teacher's still doing this and that other kids haven't told their parents, or that other parents that might know haven't stopped this yet. What are your thoughts, Deb? How would you suggest we handle this? We plan on talking to the school, but we're not sure what our approach should be. You're not? Okay, let's just transform this question into a what would Deb do question. I would, because I used to call my daughter school, and as soon as I said, this is Deborrah Cooper, they would just, you could hear them go, ugh! They were sucking all kinds of air because they knew what was coming was like a demon. Okay, and that would be what happened here. I wouldn't talk to the school. I would go immediately up to the teacher. And I would say, look here, bitch, what the hell is this? You don't be having kids rubbing all over you. You want a massage, you go and pay for one like a normal person. My daughter is not touching your body. And then after I finished, giving her what for, I would go from there with her to the principal's office and say, "Well, this is what we just discussed. If I hear from my daughter or any other child in this school that this teacher is doing anything along these lines, I'm going to file a police report, because what you're doing is grooming my child. You're grooming all the children to think that they should be touching adults because the adults requested it, and that it's okay." And it starts with a back massage and, hand massage and this and that. And then it goes on to massaging other things. I know those tricks. My mother was a daycare provider, and she worked with social services as an emergency respite provider for the city of San Francisco. And one of the trainings that she had to go to was about, one of the trainings, but there were several, but one of the ones talked about grooming and the techniques that they use. And since I was her backup daycare provider, I took it too. It was a 3-day workshop. And that's all they talked about, is how perverts get kids. It was the most disturbing shit I couldn't even sleep the 3 days we were there. And when I came back too, I was just horrified that people even do stuff like that. But what this is right here, that's exactly how it starts. So you got Uncle Freddie and your big brother and cousin Joe and all these people say, "Oh, come here, little Sally, little Joey, touch, Uncle's shoulder sore, Uncle this and that." And that put a stop to that shit, because that's basically what that's doing. Because then it starts here and then it goes lower and lower and lower, and your child used to touching and massaging on this adult doesn't know any different, because they're too innocent. They don't know any different. Watch this kind of shit. Okay, that's exactly what this is. Now, I can't say, since she's doing it in full view of the kids and stuff, that that's exactly what she's doing, but the behavior is a grooming behavior. Okay, that's what I'm saying. She might be just stupid and innocent, you know what I mean? But it's inappropriate, and we would put a stop to it just because of the reasons that I said. Just like, nah, bitch, we ain't gonna do that. Unbelievable. Oh yeah. There would be no doubt that so-and-so would not have a job. Not if that was my daughter. I'd be like, meet me in the parking lot and let's see how much rubbing you want to get, because I'll rub your bitch ass. How about we do that? Yeah, but you guys, I'm telling you guys think a lot of parents wouldn't even see that this might be an issue. And I'm telling you, these professional trainers that led this workshop for the city of San Francisco's daycare emergency respite providers and foster care providers, went through step by step the training stuff and the grooming behaviors. This was on the list. That's what I'm going to tell you. Okay. Are we going to say that that's what she was doing? We're not going to say that, because we don't know that for a fact. I do know that this kind of behavior and these kind of requests are the kinds of things that would be done by someone who is grooming your child to touch them in other places on their body. So you listen to what I'm saying. Watch your kids. Watch what people have them doing. Okay? That's what I'm telling you. This is really messed up, because I think a lot of kids, you got to keep a handle on your kids. I remember when I was in the third grade. And fourth. It was the fourth grade. That's right. Because I had the Chinese lady for okay, this was the fourth grade. We had this white teacher. I'll never forget it. I still remember how to spell her name, and I still remember Mrs. Galen, Ghelin. Okay, in San Francisco. Crazy white woman. I guess what they would now call a Karen. So she got mad because, the kids was cutting up, the boys just acted stupid in the class. And so she got frustrated. So she dragged us all inside and set us down at the table. She cut our recess short and made us come inside. And she the majority of the kids in this class, I'd say 90% were black. There was a sprinkling of other ethnicities, but even if we say be generous and say 80%, okay, you see what I'm going with this. She white. She sits there and she tells us, you kids are going to You boys are, useless, and you don't do anything. You're going to end up being pimps out here on the corner, where we were, like Fillmore Street over here. And you girls the girls are going to be the prostitutes, and the boys are going to end up being their pimps. She said this to a group of 9-year-olds, fourth grade students, 9-year-olds. What surprised me, and this is the honest to God truth. This, y'all, I know y'all love my stories. This is a true story. I'm sitting there looking at this woman. Of course, I'm, 9 years old. I'm not going to say nothing. We sat there. But what shocked me is I went home and I immediately told my parents, right? I used the language she used and everything. Honey, my daddy went cray. That's the word we use now, but ballistic, nuclear. I mean, I don't even know what kind of way to phrase it. The next morning, he was down at the Board of Education in San Francisco raising holy hell. And he used to know Willie Brown. This was way before he became like mayor and all that stuff. He was an attorney. And he had an office in our neighborhood, and my dad knew him. So him and Willie Brown go down there, and honey, the shit. My dad, they was on TV. They got that bitch fired. The principal got fired. And I'm not talking about transfer to a new school. I'm talking about fired, because he tried to defend her. They fired his ass. He was a political hot potato. And after that, I was able to go to a different school out of district. This is not busing. This was just, let's just get her to it. So I went to school with the white kids, and that was the beginning of the change in my metamorphosis to who I am today, because it was a totally different environment. I learned how to speak French and all kinds of stuff that they didn't offer at the school where we lived in the hood, So it was like, this is all right. And I'm telling you, my parents went crazy. They lost their minds. Now, what's so interesting, you all, and why this bothers me to this day, is out of those 20 whatever kids, I was the only one who said something to their parents. The only one. To this day, that bothers me. Like, how used to these were the other little kids in my class to being called names and yelled and talked to like that? I never had nobody talk to me like that. I was like, Daddy, let me tell you what this teacher said. I told it like I was like, I said she was white, Amanda. I said that 55 times. She was white, and the kids in the class, 80 to 90% of them were black. Okay? White teacher, black students. That's what she said to us. So I don't know. So anyway, keep an eye on what goes on in your kids' school. I was always in my daughter's school. I was just notorious for doing what they call pop-ups, because I worked as a personal trainer. So somebody, canceled. I had a free hour. I would just go up to the school. Let me look around. Let me see what's going on. Let me sit in the classroom. They hated my ass. I know they was happy when she graduated. But I kept a whole bunch of bullshit down, I'm telling you. So just watch your kids. Watch who's around your kids. Watch who's talking to your kids, and watch what they try to tell your kids, okay? You guys keep an eye on your children. Let's move on. Question number 2. Female, 26, from Kansas City, Missouri. Deb, how would you feel if you lived with your boyfriend and his friend? That would so not happen. I moved into the apartment with my boyfriend under the impression that the roommate would save up so he could move out soon. But it's been months, and he still hasn't made any attempt to go anywhere. My boyfriend seems to think it's a good thing to keep him around, but it's not like he's contributing to the rent regularly. It's been $300 here and $300 there, knowing we all have a set portion. I would like for our new apartment to be roommate free. What should I do? Move out? This is a no-brainer. Why would you move into a place with 2 dudes and then start paying anything? Whatever you're paying, you move from wherever you were, move right back, probably your parents' house. You're only 21 to 26. Move back home and don't pay anything, and let them figure that out. Because see, it sounded to me like they got some money from you because dude wasn't really working or whatever, so they figure, we can move her in, and she'll cover, the gap, so we can all stay here. You just got played. That's what that was. So you don't even give any notice since, you know, you moved in with him. You're not on the lease. So they're not coming after you for nothing. You pack your shit, and when they're at work or whatever the hell they go, you daddy, and then you throw your shit in the back of in the trunk, back seat, whatever, and then you get ghost. That's what you do. We let no men use you like that. I wish I would move in with two motherfuckers. I wouldn't be paying shit. Now, how about that? Let's move on. Question number 3, female, 31 to 36, from Northampton, England. Could you forgive your mate for doing something like this? What I'm about to share is just one thing amongst many issues, but it stands out to me. Okay, I'm scared now. In a rage, he woke me up by standing over me in the night whilst, there's that word, whilst I slept, and poured water over me. Wait a minute, wait, what? He did what? I forgave him because he said he was sorry, but I am regretting it now. What should I do? Where's Keith? Keith and his pot of grits. This sounds like it's grit time to me. You gonna pour some cold water over me, but I'm pouring some hot grits on your ass, and let's see how you like that. Then I'm leaving so you don't get a chance to try to, you know, do any kind of retribution. I'm out. Okay, you forgave him. Why would you forgive someone for doing something so very aggressive to you? What were you thinking? There's no comeback from this. There's no comeback from this. There's no forgiveness for anyone treating you this way. I can't even imagine how many bullets would be flying if I woke up and somebody poured some water on me. Honey, because me and Roscoe would be in motion. I don't know what else to tell you, honey. This is like he declared war. He didn't want to punch you, slap you, you know, do anything that's going to leave a bruise, anything would fall under the realm of physical abuse that he could get arrested for. But this is the next best thing. It's time for you to go, okay? That's what you should do. Go before it turns into something else and you get permanently disfigured, all right? Get out of there. Question number 4, female. These dudes, what the fuck? It's crazy. Female, 21 to 26, from Atlanta. My boyfriend and I were brought up very differently. He comes from a low-income family that has been residing in the hood all their lives. My boyfriend's father is an alcoholic who has never had a stable job because of his addiction, and his mother is a CNA who could no longer work due to recently becoming disabled. Okay, well then she can get disability. Every single day, him and his father argue over money or even petty things such as who gets to use the vehicle, even though my boyfriend pays for it every month. I'm not even sure they have insurance on the car. Unfortunately, my boyfriend is also stuck paying for rent since he's the primary breadwinner in the household. Long story short, ever since his mother started getting sick earlier this year, his financial situation has gotten heavy. And it's heavy on me as well. I grew up in the suburbs with a family who has supported me in all ways. I was able to go to college rent-free, and to this day I still live at home. I use my mother's previous vehicle, so I don't have any car payments. My financial responsibilities consist of purchasing groceries and other various home necessities, paper towels, water, soap, lotion, etc., as well as paying my phone bill. I also take care of the rest of my personal expenses, gas card, food repairs, credit card, student loans, and auto insurance. I really do sympathize for my boyfriend and what's been going on in his life, but I've been getting extremely overwhelmed, if that's even the right term, for how I'm feeling. He's been heavily relying on me for the past month or so. For the past 2 weeks, I realized that he's been depending on me completely to feed him, pay for his Uber rides, and drive him when we hang out. An example is sometimes he will refuse to eat the whole day until we see each other because he's, quote, broke. The days when I don't see him, he will repeatedly tell me he's hungry and broke to the point where I'll feel bad and DoorDash him food. I found myself going over my credit limit and using some of my savings money. I've told him several times I need to get rid of my credit card debt and save as much money as possible because I won't be working when I go to grad school next summer. Over the weekend, Halloween, we were invited to my friend's Halloween party, and guess who paid for the costumes, transportation, and liquor? Me. When I got home, I knocked out, and he used my face to get into my phone to buy himself a ride. He didn't even tell me about buying an Uber until I mentioned it to him about seeing a charge taken on my account. Another thing that irks me is that he's just plain out irresponsible. Most of the days he wouldn't bring his wallet with him because he, quote, doesn't need it. Really. And sometimes he would ask me to hold money for him, only to have him ask for the money back a few days later, as if I were a real life savings account. He's also recently gotten charged with a DUI driving my car, so that's another big financial bump for him. What should I do? It's called breaking up. That's what you do. Oh, honey, you are dating a dusty bum. That's what you're doing. You're dating a dusty. You know, his parents, I don't know what their story is, but if they don't have any income, the mom's disabled, she should be able to file for disability. They should be able, they're not working food stamps. You know, SSI, supplemental income. It's not a lot of money, but it is some. It will help take the heat off the boy and, you know, help with groceries and light bills and stuff like that. If they've worked their entire lives, that's what those funds are there for. They take it out of your paycheck. So people talk about, quote, entitlement programs. It's no such thing. You paid that for that shit. It's just getting it back. That's like, because you've worked for 10, 15, 30 years, you've already paid any little chump change they're going to be giving you in the form of some supplemental income and food stamps and shit like that. So, you know, people be like, oh, it's entitlement. No, I paid for that. So I paid it in advance. I'm now getting my funds back, okay? So your parents were working. Well, not the dad, but the mom was. So she should be able to get all those things. She should be totally qualified for that kind of support system. As far as you, that's not your child. That's not your husband. You don't owe him shit. Break up. Just tell him, you know, this isn't working for me. I'm spending too much money and I need to focus on myself and what I'm trying to do with my life. I don't want to see you anymore. You and your family go and work your stuff out and do what you need to do. And then what you need to do also is if you have any access codes on your Uber, your any other accounts that he might have gotten, you know, your bank account, PIN number and all that kind of stuff, change everything. Because I wouldn't put it past him to be dipping into your accounts. Okay? But this, I don't know why I'm so evil. I'm telling you, by the time he started, as he said he don't have no money, I'd be like, well, you don't have no girlfriend either. That's just the way I am. I'm just like, I'm not paying for you. I don't love you that much. As a matter of fact, I don't even like you. Yeah, and now he's stealing, exactly. So I'm like, oh, hell to the no. So you better think about what I'm saying, okay? I'm not sure understand where you feeling like this is any kind of love and respect going on in this relationship. You just there as a convenience for him to use. He probably got some other people that he can use to transfer that usury to. So go ahead and just dump him and get him out of your life. And in the future, if you're dating someone and they start having drama like this, cut them loose immediately. You're not married. You're just a kid yourself. Get rid of them. Question number 5, male, 26 to 32, out of Denver, Colorado. My girlfriend is almost 9 months pregnant. Woo! I mean, she about to pop. And now wants to give our baby up for adoption. She's 27, I'm 30. She told me that she'd been thinking about it for a few months and changed her mind about wanting a baby, and now I don't know what to do. Trying to have a baby was her idea since we always had decided that we'd like to have kids, but she was worried to tell me because I was so excited that I was about to be a dad and didn't want to hurt me by saying that she had changed her mind during the pregnancy. My girlfriend told me after reading all these books and watching mommy vlogs and really thinking about it, she doesn't think she wants kids. We've been going to therapy for almost 3 months since she told me that, but she's still firm in her decision that she wants to give the baby up for adoption, and she'd like for me to be okay with that. We started having fights about this constantly because I don't want to give up my rights as a father, but she doesn't want to keep the baby. I feel like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. She's literally due in a few weeks and we still have this situation. I can't lose my son, but that could cost my relationship to someone I've been with for 10 years. Please help. I don't know what to do. Yeah, you know what you do? It's called be a single father. That's what it's called. Because if she signs away her parental rights, that doesn't mean that you have to sign away yours. You can take your baby because she's going to have it. She's either going to give it to somebody else, some strangers, or she can give it to you. But either way, she's not going to have nothing to do with it. Okay, so that's what you worried about. You don't want to do it by yourself, so you're trying to force her into it with, well, what about us? You said you want, okay, well, she changed her mind. She came to her senses. She realized it's some bullshit. And number one, if you really wanted it to be in such a state of, fatherhood, why did you not propose and get married? See, so you want to have everything the way that you want it, where you're not married and you want somebody to be bearing you a child and all that stuff. So the bottom line here, sir, is this. You're not going to be married. You've been dating a woman for 10 fucking years, which is so totally ridiculous. If you want the baby, then you go down with her when she signs her rights away, and you sign and take the baby home with you. That's what you're going to do. That means she's not going to have no financial responsibility for it. She's not going to babysit for it. She's not going to burp it, change the diapers, buy no bottles for it, nothing. It's going to be 100% your child. Are you prepared for that? If you're not prepared for that, then you just sign away your parental rights. And then when you get married and have a wife, then you can have some power about what happens with the child from some other person's body. But, right now you just would be a baby daddy. You don't have no power over her. You're going to do what she wants to do because it's her body and it's her, her decision. Damn, baby daddy's always trying to dictate and control some shit. Nigga, for real? She's nice to you because I would be cussing you out. I probably went into early labor because I've been cussing you out so hard. Question number 6, female in the 26 to 30 age group from Fort Worth, Texas. I've known this guy for a few months. I really grew to like him more than just a friend. And we've been quite flirty with each other for the past several weeks. Then all of a sudden, one day, he tells me we can't continue like this because the girl he had feelings for over a year just admitted that she had feelings for him too, and even broke up with her 7-year boyfriend for him. I checked this myself, and it's true. I was quite upset because I really liked him, but what hurt me the most was that he told me he could never pick anyone else over her. Well, 3 days later, he told me that he made a huge mistake, that he regrets his decision, and that he realized he wants to be with me and not her, and that he doesn't have feelings for her anymore. And I thought I'd give it a shot. Oh, you're kind of stupid, huh? Situation now. Well, I haven't really been comfortable with her still being around in his life, although he says they're just friends, and obviously have known each other for more than a year. But last night we were playing video games together while on call, and I noticed he was very quiet. And I kept asking him what was wrong, and in the end he admitted that he's upset that she hasn't really been talking to him as much anymore. And then he started to cry, saying that she used to tell him about her day and now she's not. And he tried to ask her, but she only gives him one-word replies, and that they haven't talked for 2 days. I didn't know at all how to react last night. It was a bit shocking to me, but now I feel very uncomfortable. I haven't talked to him yet today. I'm still mourning. It's still morning, and he didn't wake up. But I'm just so confused and very uncomfortable that my boyfriend literally cried that his longtime crush isn't talking to him as much anymore. What am I supposed to do, Deb? Is this a red flag? Should I not be feeling uncomfortable about it? No, you shouldn't be feeling uncomfortable about it. You know why? Because you shouldn't know about it. You shouldn't be involved with it. You know why? Because you were supposed to, when he came whining back, talking about he made a mistake, say, well, that's too bad. Sucks for you. Deuces. Whoop. That's what you were supposed to do. You don't let some man put you down and just like slam you down like a slam ball and then come back and pick you up saying, oh, I didn't mean it. The only reason he's saying that is because he didn't want to be without some booty because the other girl rejected him. So now he come crying back. But he gonna sit, how you gonna have a man? Yeah, she's slow. Why did I look up there and see that? That shit is funny. How you gonna have a man sitting in your face crying over some other bitch? How does that even work in the real world? Who does that? I would have picked up the nearest blunt object and I would have channeled my mother. It's like, oh, you gonna cry? You gonna cry? Let me give you something to cry about. And bumped him upside the head with something. Y'all know what I'm talking about? That is from the Black Mother's Handbook. They all say that same stuff. That will give you something to cry about. Shoot. She don't know that he's not her boyfriend. You know, a lot of these young girls get so confused. They think any dude that they spend time with and that text them and that they screw is their boyfriend. I hear this has been an issue for 30 years while I've been doing advice column. They always think that just because they spend time with a dude that it's a boyfriend, and they want to have all these like expectations and rules and you know, ties to him and stuff. And I keep telling, it don't work like that. This dude is not he's not committed to you in any way, shape, or form. You're just something to do. So what I suggest, young lady, is that you wake up, smell the poo-poo, and get rid of this idiot. Okay? He's not offering you nothing. Crying in front of me over some other woman. I wish somebody would. Wow. Let's move on. Question. Wait, let me just double check. What age group was she in? Well, 26 to 30. That's a little old for this. I might have expected that from the 18 to 21 age group. So you have some catching up to do as far as your growth and maturity go, young lady. Question number 7. This is a young lady in the 30 to 36 age group from Aberdeen, Scotland. Backstory. My ex was mean, controlling, and emotionally abusive, and I left him because of this. Good job. He insists on staying in our daughter's life. I realize this is a good thing on balance, but he can continue to be mean and try to control me to the extent that he can through her. He has started seeing a new woman who also has a small daughter. They took the children on holiday together over half term, whatever that means, though supposedly have only actually been in a relationship for a month or so. I believe that they have been seeing each other for months, but that he was lying. My daughter has returned with stories of how Daddy took care of her the whole time, how he would read to the 2 girls while his girlfriend lay in bed with them, etc. When we were together, he would never have spent this kind of time with me. He would have said it wasn't efficient and that he would have left to get our daughter something, bathe or go to bed alone because he had had a drink or something. He also has been telling me that I wasn't a great mom because I work full time. The girlfriend apparently is a better mom who only works part-time. I maintain as little contact with him as possible, and I have been trying to move on since I left 2 years ago. But this is absolutely killing me. The idea that maybe he is capable of being a good dad and partner, the thought that he would be caring and loving towards someone else, the sneaking suspicion that maybe the reason he wasn't nice to me really is that I'm too difficult, too demanding, and too argumentative. What do I do? How do I cope? Help me. You got to do the Deb backhand. Okay, so there's the front slap where you slap yourself this way, but you're going to do the backhand. So you're going to take your hand and you're going to fly it and slap the shit out of yourself with your backhand, or better yet, go to get some of your friends and tell them to line up and then just one after the other slap the shit out of you until you wake up. This don't have nothing to do with you. You don't have no game at all. You don't even understand. You say he's trying to get to you through using a girl, and then you see that's what he's trying to do, but then you turn right around and fall into the trap with this kind of stuff. All you're supposed to do is tell the little girl, oh, well, that's nice that, Daddy read you a story, and not be bothered about it, because that's what he wants you to do, is be all fucked up and twisted up and confused and feel rejected and like you're nothing and all this stuff. You so stupid. You just let him get in your head like that. I just sometimes, I don't know about you women, y'all don't have no kind of, nothing is going on upstairs where you don't understand where these dudes are trying to play you. The main thing that bothers me the most is, like I said, she said that that's what he's trying to do earlier in the letter. Then when this happened, then she fell right into the trap and all in her emotions about it. You don't have any emotions about what that monkey does. Nothing. Okay. All you have to say to your daughter is, oh, that's nice. Did you have fun? That's great. Okay, so then she's gonna go back and say, Mommy said that it was great that we had fun, and that's all she's gonna say, because that's all you're gonna say to her. You're not gonna. Your expression doesn't change. You don't flip out about nothing. You don't give him that satisfaction. Or could be a bitch and use the daughter back and say, wow, well, it's good that he finally grew up. So she can say, Mommy said it was good that you finally grew up. Or Mommy said it's about time you get off your butt and do something sensible with yourself. Something like that. Let her quote something like that. So he'll see that you're not the least bit bothered by what he said. Because two could play that game. But, really, what do I do? How do I cope? It's like, ugh, lady, get it together. Okay, you dealing with an idiot. And he just going to do everything he can to get your goat. And you just silly. He going to fall for it. Question. Question number 8. Female in the 18 to 21 age group from the Bronx in New York. I really need help from you and the squad on this. I'm 20 in college. My sister's 17. My sister's my mom's favorite, no doubt about it. She always tells me I'm bullying my sister for the slightest things. My sister's never wrong. She doesn't have a curfew, but I do. How's she not going to have a curfew and she's a minor? I have college and I have to come home, and I've been expected to work since I was 16 and pay for myself, but my parents support my sister. I have to pay for my college, but they said they will pay for her tuition. I can't argue with that because technically they don't have to. My sister's basically my only friend. My parents said I couldn't leave home for college, but I paid for it, so I shouldn't have been such a pushover. I realize I'm such a coward and a people pleaser. So I confide in my sister a lot. I had a best friend who turned extremely manipulative and told my sister all about it. I since don't talk to that friend, but my sister, who was once a good friend, started acting like my old best friend. We fight a lot. Somehow, minutes? Huh? Okay, I don't know what that means. After the fight, my mom will find out, and without knowing the situation, she will yell at me or tell me that she'll slap me. Oh. My dad usually gets in on it. I told my sister something really personal regarding a relationship. Since I told her, sometimes she'll act really sarcastic to me, and she referenced it against me a few times. I'm regretting telling her. I had to apologize to her just now, so I did and hugged her, but she acted too good for my apology and pushed me away in disgust. I wasn't really apologizing. She probably sensed my tone wasn't pleading. I think she knows I'm friendless, pushover still, and she's using that to act out on me. So I'm going to ignore her and not ask her to hang. But my question is, how do I get out of this making new friends? I can't leave because I don't have enough money saved. I'm scared because I live with family for now, but I feel super lonely. Can you and the squad help me? You have a lot going on here. And it sounds, at some point, young lady, all these different things going on, all these different kind of negative, blood-sucking people around you. I'm going to suggest that you look into some therapy for real. There's something going on with these, because at the core of all of these different people and all these different relationships is you. And I'm not saying that it's your fault. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying that there's something going on with you that is drawing these kind of bullying behaviors and negativity, negative kind of associations into your world. There's something about you that is attracted to that. I'm not saying attracting. I said attracted to. So you're going and you're forming relationships with these people. You're trying to put them in a position to be a confidant. You're putting your trust in people who aren't worth it. You're putting your belief in yourself in their hands. There's something going on with you that you need to fix. This format here is not the venue for that. This is some stuff that sounds like it's going to go deep, and you're going to need several sessions at least with a therapist. But that's what I see. There's some kind of there's something that you're looking for, and you're looking for it in the wrong places. You're not looking for it from people that are healthy and that have which with you can be open and vulnerable with. You're looking for this from people that are not trustworthy and don't have anything to do about your best interest at heart. They don't have it. So that's what I'm saying. You got to figure out what is that emotion that that feeling that's making you want to trust these people instead of trusting other people that could have been in your life instead of them. Like the friend, like surely, as you going to school, you had lots of people that you associated with. Why did you pick that girl to be your best friend? You see what I'm saying? Why did you pick her, who turned out to be like a shark and hurt you? That's how you grow in situations like this. You know, don't look at it like I'm so stupid, I'm this and that. You look at, okay, what was I going through and what was I looking for that made me think this person was a good person to put my trust and belief in? That's what I'm saying. That's where you need the help, okay? And I'm glad you don't have any man in your life right now, because of this mental state, you went out and with this, whatever this neediness is, this confusion that you have, you would get yourself involved with the most rogue dusty that's ever walked the planet Earth. That would be all bad. Okay, so look into some therapy for yourself. Don't tell anybody in your family about it. It's a secret. Don't talk to them about anything. Don't write anything down. If you have a thing, if you're going to put a code, something on your phone for an appointment, put a code so that only you know what it is. If you put that doctor's name in your phone book, put it under a name like, I don't know, Sherry or something, you know, so they don't have any idea who this person is. That is really a doctor, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, whatever. You got to put up some boundaries to protect yourself. And no, you don't have enough money yet, but that's not the point right now. Right now, you need to work on yourself while you're there and have that financial cushion. And once you get some therapy done, then you can, you know, change jobs, you'll be out of school, and you can, you know, hit the ground running. But right now, you got too much emotional baggage going on. Yeah, but see, that's part of it, Cindy, the telling the secrets. That's what I said. She's trying to be intimate and vulnerable to people who they're not, you know, trustworthy. She shouldn't be putting that kind of trust in these kind of people. But since it's happening everywhere she's turning, you know what I mean? Then the only person that's in common with all these individuals is her. That means the issue is within her. That's why I want her to get some therapy, because there's something that she's attracted to with these people. Now, you know, at 20 years old, my mother tell me that she would slap me. I say, bitch, be ready to get slapped the fuck back. Because I'm not a kid now. I will beat your ass. And you think I wouldn't say that to my mother, but my mother knew better. My mother never talked to me crazy like that. See, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't give a fuck. I told my auntie I'll beat her ass. And I meant every word of it. It's like, bitch, I will stomp you. I don't give a fuck. I'm your auntie. I gives no fucks about that. You know, I might have cared when I was a little kid. I don't give a fuck now. I'll beat your ass. So, you know, yeah, I mean, I wish somebody would tell me they would try to, I'll slap you. Be ready to miss some teeth. Because, bitch, I'm coming for you. And I'm way younger and faster and stronger than you. So prepare to get your ass toe up. Okay? So that kind of stuff, you know, I wish that, but even her saying that to you, that's abusive. That is abusive behavior. So yeah, please find yourself a therapist. Question number 9, female in the 26 to 32 age group, no location provided. All right, I love my boyfriend of 1 year, but I'm not sure if someone else would meet my needs better. The fact that you have to ask that question, the answer is yes. I can tell you that after one line of the letter. I need help figuring this out, as I don't know if I should stay or leave. I'm very conflicted at the moment as to whether I should stay with him, because I'm 27, he's 31. After dating him, he's kind and sweet and comfortable and loving and thoughtful and everything you would really search for in someone, I think. Either way, I recently got this feeling inside like he may not be everything I'm looking for. I know nobody's perfect, so I haven't taken any action about my feelings at all. But Deb, we never kiss each other. He's not really physically affectionate at all, and this has left a bit of a hole in what I feel I need for a relationship to work. But I'm worried that I can't trust my own thoughts. I know the grass isn't always greener on the other side, and I don't want to live to regret anything in my life, which may not even be possible. Oh my God, you use too many fucking words. Recently, I have been thinking about other people and the potential compatibility that I might have with them. It doesn't seem better, but might fill the hole that I'm feeling. I obviously have not acted on this or even spoken to someone about it, especially not someone that could potentially lead to more feelings. I want to be clear that I have not cheated on my boyfriend at all. I'm just feeling a bit like there are others that might fit me better. And then again, they might not. You see how confused this child is? And I feel there's no way to know, but I've read a lot on here about really regretting ending a relationship, and I would honestly hate myself if I ended the relationship and it was a mistake. I'm worried that I've developed a small infatuation with someone else. And even though I don't speak to him as much as I could, it might not be as great in real life as it could be in my mind. I don't know how to talk about this with my partner or if I'm even supposed to. I'm very lost. I've been trying to do the right thing here. I could really use some good, well-intentioned advice so I don't make a really stupid mistake. The mistake that you're making is doubting yourself. The mistake is you making you all over the place. You know what you want. You want a man who's going to show you affection and tenderness. You don't have that. Okay, he's not that dude. He's all them other things, but you feel lonely. You feel like there's a hole in your heart. He's never touches you. He never kisses you. He never hugs you. He doesn't hold your hand. He doesn't do any kind of the romantic, tender things that women like to have with the man that they're in love with. So why are you sacrificing yourself just because he's kind and thoughtful and this and that? Those are qualities of a trait of a friend, a boss, a neighbor, a sibling. Okay? You don't have to be calling yourself in a romantic relationship with somebody who's not affectionate to you and not romantic. Okay? That's a friend. So what you do is you tell them, you know what? This is great and we've been together for a year. But I've realized something. The fact that you're not affectionate is killing me. And I don't want you to think that this is a demand that you change yourself. It's not. You're a great guy in many, many other ways, but you're not a great guy for me. So let's break up now. That's all you have to say. I don't want to live my life like this, where there's this hole where I'm missing affection and tenderness, and the man that I'm in love with doesn't provide it. I don't want to do that to myself. I'm too young for this. And then you break up. That's all you have to do. Now, this affection that you feel for somebody else, you can investigate it if you want to once you break up with dude, but don't think because you go from him to this other person that it's going to be, this magical Band-Aid fix or something, because that person, you're right, could have other issues. But that's not the point. The point is, from after a year that this relationship is not meeting your needs. So no matter what happens with anyone else, you leave that relationship behind because that relationship is not meeting your needs. You got me? You don't focus on all this other stuff you throwing in there and all this. Oh my God, girl, you be just doing the most. It's just too much. Who knows what he is? Some of these men have, some issues because they were, abusing themselves as children. Some of them are, they on the spectrum. So they don't really have that sense of that sensuality that, you're looking for. Like people like to just hold hands and play with each other's fingers and stuff. They would never do anything like that because it just wouldn't even occur to them. And they just feel like, that's weird. And so, for them, everything has a purpose, a reason. So they're only going to kiss you and do all stuff when it's time to get some booty, if they even do it then. So, it's the kind of thing as a woman, I really wish more women would trust their judgment and accept that they need things and embrace yourself and what you want in a relationship. You don't have to sacrifice who you are and what you want just because this guy is this and that. He might be a wonderful man. Nothing really stands out, but that doesn't mean he's a wonderful man for you. And have enough sense and presence of yourself and trust yourself and like yourself enough to go after what you know is going to make you happy. You don't have to stay with somebody where you're miserable just to be in a relationship because you don't want to hurt his feelings or because he has all these other nice habits or traits or whatever. Well, she might, but we're not going to go into all of those fantasy lanes. We don't do all that. We're just talking about what is. Because, we could say all kinds of stuff. He could be this and that. I don't do that. I just talk about what is, and we deal with the issue, which is not what he is. He's not the subject of the letter. The subject of the letter is her acceptance of herself, her doubting of herself, and her lack of trust in herself and what she wants. Okay, that is the subject of this letter. Not what he might, coulda, woulda, shoulda, and all this old stuff. That's irrelevant. All right. So let's move on. Question number 10, female in the 21 to 26 age group from Knoxville, Tennessee. I need to know, is this considered an abusive boyfriend? Oh, shit. And she got like bullet points. Pushing till the partner falls down. pinning partner to ground despite them crying and begging to be let up. Wow. Manipulating partner into physical acts they don't want to do by saying things like, you should be doing this since we are together, or I feel like you don't love me if you don't do this, and not stopping the act despite partner crying. Making decisions for partner and telling them what to do with their life. Making partner doubt themselves. Angry outbursts, throwing objects, saying degrading things. Saying no one else would ever stick it out with you or put up with your behavior. Treating partner like a child. Always lying, then blaming partner for major trust issues. Cutting contact to punish partner when they do something, quote, wrong. Rarely admitting mistakes and blaming partner all the time. After being in this for years, I've started to doubt myself because of his manipulative ways. That's why I'm asking this question. Any advice from you or the squad is highly appreciated. I'm going to say this. Every single one of these things is abusive. Emotionally abusive, physically abusive, sexually abusive, emotionally abusive. You're in an abusive relationship. What do? You leave it. When he goes to work, you pack your things and you go somewhere. I don't know where. You kind of work that out with your friends or family, where you gonna go. But you need to get the hell away from this. And don't think that's gonna end there, because he's used to controlling you, right? He's been getting his way with you all this time. So what most likely is gonna happen is he's gonna beg you back and talk about how I'll change. Oh, it'll be different. I didn't know this and that. I'll be different next time. And then what you have to do is say, I don't care. Preferably what you would do is block his number, or even better yet, get a new phone number so that he can't call you. You would block him on all your social media accounts. You would send his emails to the trash. You would do things like that, or set up a new email. Shit. I have so many email addresses half the time I don't even check them because I can't remember the passwords. But you have to put up some barriers to him getting access to you. And then once you get out of there, please get yourself some therapy, because you doing this kind of stuff for years. You put an S on that year. For years with an S. You have some broken parts inside that you're gonna need some help putting back together so that you feel whole and normal again. Don't ever be afraid to get help. Okay, if you have any concerns that this guy is going to come after you and that you're at risk physically, seek the police, seek a battered woman shelter. Get help. Get help to protect yourself. That's what I'm going to say. You can look at there and see what they have to say. Somebody asked, 21 to 26, and she's in Knoxville, Tennessee. She's young. Move on. Question number 11, female, also 21 to 26, from Manhattan in New York. I'm 24 and just finished my master's degree. I live at home still, but my grandparents own the whole apartment, 3 stories, purchased in the 80s. My parents and I live on the first floor, with my room basically being in its own separate part of the floor. My aunt and uncle live on the second, and my grandparents live on the third. Oh. So your parents and you on the first floor. Your aunt and uncle live on the second, and your grandparents live on the third. Okay, everybody's in there with their own space. That sounds like a good setup. They don't charge my parents or my uncle and aunt for anything, so they basically live rent-free. My grandpa in Manhattan? My grandparents were property investors. I always asked to help with expenses, but they refused. I leave the money for them, and they always give it back. But I still live at home because it's like I have my own space in the house anyway. My parents rarely check in with what I'm doing, so I feel like I'm living on my own. However, my aunt and uncle are currently unemployed and using the pandemic as an excuse, but they didn't work for 2 years before that. Why? I'm not even sure. My problem is they're always walking near my room when I'm on the phone or when I'm coming in and out of the apartment. I work close to home. Recently, we closed the salon at 10, 11 p.m. My grandparents insist that my uncle or aunt walk me home because it isn't safe. I appreciate their help, and if I say no, it's okay, they get mad. Whenever I head out with friends, they make a point to tell each other what I'm doing or what they overheard. I understand that this is to look out for me, but they also call me when I tell them I'm going to be somewhere and ask where I am, when I'm going to come home, etc. What? I have nothing to hide. I'm very open about my life, but this stuff gets me a bit anxious. I'm not sure why, and I feel guilty for feeling this way. I love my family. I don't want to leave, but I'm not a teenager. When should I start thinking about moving and doing my own thing? I don't really like the city, but I know it's the best place to be opportunity-wise. I'm scared of the idea of moving to a different state or doing anything fully on my own. Should I just do it? I feel like I'm too dependent on my family, but I want to get an outside perspective. Okay, what you do is, okay, they always, when you on the phone and they want to keep track of what you're doing and listening to, get yourself a sound machine. You can order them on Amazon. They use them a lot in corporate, like by conference rooms and stuff, so it keeps people from hearing the conversation because it makes like white noise. You know, you hear the conversation, but it's like muffled. You know, they can't hear like definitive things. And then make sure you talk somewhat low. And then, like, wherever you put the sound machine near the door. Shit, get two. Put it near the door, right? And then you go to the opposite side of the room to talk, or in your bathroom or something like that. As long as there's no pipe work that go, like if you guys have, like, you kind of like you guys got a brownstone. So they may have some pipe work where they could listen to your conversations from the vent, from your bathroom upstairs to theirs. So, you know, check out the scenario. I don't know what the structure is. But whatever it is, put the sound machines like by the door inside your room so they can't hear what you're talking about. When they call, you know, don't you have caller ID? You out with your friends. You looking, you see his aunt and uncle. You put where it says, you know, accept call. You put no, yes, no. And you don't answer it. Why do you feel like you have to answer to them? They ain't your mama and daddy. They don't need to know where you are. None of them do. Okay, just when you coming back, when I get ready. You tell them stuff like that a couple of times, they'll leave you alone. But I can imagine you being, you know, very nice, and you gonna actually tell them. I wouldn't tell the ass a shit. You get there, you'll see me when I get there. If you tell them anything at all, like I said, I would just, did not deny the call, and just, you know, turn my phone off or something. If you have to make a call, use one of your friends' phones. In case they have a location service on your phone, you turn your phone off so they can't figure out where you are. Stuff like that. Or get you a new phone. There's all kinds of things that you can do here to prevent this kind of nonsense. But if you're not paying any rent and you're working, you should have thousands and thousands of dollars in the bank to fund a move. Okay, it sounds like you work in a hair salon, so you're doing hair work. You know, one of the best places to do that kind of stuff is you want to be like where you could be a hair salon worker for hairdresser or whatever for stars and stuff, is go to LA. And yeah, New York's not the only place that's got, you know, lots of stuff going on. Go to Los Angeles. Start working in Hollywood or somewhere. I don't know. Think about this. I mean, I'm just coming up with some different ideas, but you know, you're plenty old enough. By the time you say you're in the 21 to 26 age group, by the time you get, you know, to age 30, you need to be out of that house and on about your life somewhere. So you got a few years to get it together. You say, talk about hearing your neighbors live in Hawaii. Oh, no, I'm cool. I hate my neighbors as it is. They make too much fucking noise. Talk too loud. I'm like, God, you motherfuckers deaf? What the hell? Why you got to talk at the volume like you shouting? I don't like it. But anyway, those are my suggestions for you things for you to consider, you know, and look into what you can get in LA, what kind of things you can have set up, and start making plans. Question number 12, female, 20 to 26 from Las Vegas, Nevada. I need help figuring out how to shut down creepy, unwanted stares and attention if interacting with someone, and realizing that they are creepy midway through the interaction. Just so you know, I'm a senior at UNLV and will be graduating and moving out of here in May of 2022. I'm writing to you because if I ask my friends for help, they just say, you just think you're all that. or I'm pretty sure no one is doing it. It's all in your head. Wow, your friends are a trip. I grew up around pretty vanilla people, and I didn't really notice the creepy games being played until I moved here. I've recently started getting unwanted bad vibe attention that I don't know what to do about when they know people I know or we're in the same room. I'm not sure how this all started, but in the last year, a man I noticed just now predatory and manipulative a lot of men are, even with attention-grabbing behaviors that just won't stop, even if ignored when out with friends, i.e. staring endlessly across the room to where the attention feels like being undressed or being read to find a way to corner me. Oh. Then there's the manipulators who appear normal, and halfway through being nice to them because they know a friend or colleague, I realize what they're doing, and I feel sick for entertaining them and not noticing sooner. I know people say just cut it off, be rude, who cares? But some of these men, that's not enough. I'd like to use my presence in a way that discourages any mediations to plan and hold any faith on acting on their desires. Basically, I need ideas for ways to shut down those who thinking they're seductive but really are creepy or manipulative. You know, like how can my energy, appearance, or attitude become intimidating or discouraging to the self-described seducer? That's a challenge because, number one, you at that age group where that's pretty damn near impossible. Short of you being even to the hood rat girls, the ones that walk around with a what's his name, the ice cube scowl on their face, it don't matter, because dusties don't care about things like that. Their goal is to get what they want from you. So no matter what you look like, what you dress like, how you carry yourself, how you cuss them out, it doesn't matter to them. So you're trying to put yourself in a position where you think by what you do, you're going to control other people. And I'm telling you, that's not going to happen. Dusties don't care about any of that. I mean, yeah, you can try stuff, you can try things like that, but don't think that it's like it's like a guarantee of anything. The only thing you can do is use your words. Okay. So, someone looking at you from across the room, why are you keep looking back at them to know how long they're looking at you? Why are you giving them that much energy? You shouldn't be paying attention to them. Okay, that's what they want is your attention, and you giving it to them. That's not how you do it. And if they say something to you, then you say, I'm not interested in what you're talking about. I always throw that sir in there very sarcastically. I'm not interested in what you're talking about, sir. And then I walk off. And, they'd be like, well, what about this? What about that? And it's like, I already said no. Okay. Now see that change in tone, like clipped, not conciliatory, not that whiny voice that a lot of women like to use, I have a boyfriend. I don't know. I don't think so. All this kind of stuff because you trying to quote, be nice. You don't be nice to motherfuckers. You just say what it is that you have to say, and then you just be done with it. Now, they want to keep talking. You just stare at them. You've already said no. Okay? You've already said you're not interested. What else is there to say? So what you do, then you just leave the vicinity. You're in some situation, you just walk off. Now, if they try to touch you, well, see, now we got a new story. That's why you need to have you some pepper spray, stun gun, mace, bear spray, something. And then they just, they put their hands on you. Well, see, now we've escalated. And now you get a face full of some shit. Stun gun to the neck. Something like that. Keep your mitts to yourself. Well, see, she can't ignore them, Amanda, because she said sometimes they're acquaintances or, they're colleagues. So in a situation like that, you're going to be talking to them. Okay, there's just you can't work somewhere or be involved in projects like, she's got school projects and stuff and not talk to these people. That's not going to happen. That's why I'm telling her how to shut it down if it goes from just regular business stuff to, something that's inappropriate. Then you just say, I'm not interested in what you're talking about. I'm here to talk about such and such, or we're here to work on blah, blah, blah. We're here to complete this project. We're here to do, this interview. We're here to do this research. She's in school. She's a senior. So, it's going to be something along those lines. Just bring them back to that. And if they just insist and they don't want to do it, that's when you go back to your professor and say, this person has a different agenda. Their agenda is more sexually oriented than it is project oriented. I need a new partner. I need a new team. And don't ever have any problem saying that. I don't give a fuck. And I will say it right in front of them, too. Then it's like, you're a senior, so it's not you're going to be seeing them, for another years and stuff. But just let everybody know this is a, pervert. They can't even keep their mind focused on what they're supposed to be doing. I'm trying to get their swerve on. Just cut it off and be rude. Who cares? But you say, but some of these men, that's not enough. Well, you don't know if it's enough because you haven't tried it. Okay? It doesn't, what you consider to be rude could just be, being very clear and direct with good firm boundaries. You don't have to worry about being nice to knuckleheads. Okay, you just tell them no. Get the fuck out of here. She's not in she's at school. She's not in HR. They don't have HR at college campuses. Come on now, y'all stay focused. This is just, this is just one of them things. And you just starting, you getting out of school, you're going to be going into the workforce. You better figure this out, especially if you're an attractive young lady. They're going to be after you like white on rice. So get your cojones up and put some bass in your voice and start making this shit happen, putting your boundaries up. And never, ever, ever be nice to men. If you ain't dating them, they ain't paying you, there's no reason for you to be nice to them. Just fuck them. Question number 13, female, 18 to 21 from Edmonton, Canada. Okay, so I brought a date over to my place. Had friends over. One of my friends is really cute and she has a bubbly personality. My date and her kept eyeing each other. What should I think of this, Deb? Also, when I introduced him to her, he really introduced himself compared to the others. Oh, did he pull a Billy D. Williams? Remember that in Star Wars? I'll never forget that shit. He was just so fine. Ugh, that man used to be just gorgeous. When he met Princess Leia, and he was like, he flipped his white cape back, and he took her hand, and he kissed it, and he was like, hello, Lando Calrissian, the proprietor of this establishment. I'll never forget that line as long as I live. And that nigga said that shit so smooth. His eyes was all glassy. He had that Billy D smile working. I was like, woo, yes, hunty. But anyway, that sounded like what your dude did. She said he really introduced himself to her. Oh wait, where was I? I lost my place. They were also talking a lot and went to the kitchen together, laughing and talking. We were also all coming in the kitchen, and he kept looking back at the door to see if she was coming in as well. I'm sure of it because he stopped looking back when she came in. I don't know what to do about this. Any guidance? No. Just realize that you just hooked your girl up with her new boyfriend. That's what happened. He was your date. You don't have a commitment to him. Okay, that's not your man. Y'all both single. He came with you, at a date, but he met somebody he likes better. What you should do in a situation like this is bow out gracefully. So what you do, even though you're kind of disturbed about it, you call your friend after, your friend, and not the dude, your friend, the bubbly personality chick. And you say, I noticed that you and the guy that I brought to the party, notice how I put that in. I didn't call him my date. Don't show any ownership or claim to him. The guy I brought to the party, right? Okay, this is important. You guys seem to really, have a vibe going on there. What you going, it's like we're not a couple or nothing, it's nothing serious. So what I'd like to do, because I know it's really hard to find people that you really like the way that you two seem to like each other, I'm going to give you his name and his number, and you take it from there. And that's what you do, and then you never speak to him again. Okay? That's how you do shit, and you do it in a way that's like gracious, powerful, a woman in charge, to show everybody you don't give a fuck, you ain't tripping, because you don't have no claim to do. You went on a date with him, big whoop-de-doo. I don't know. I wouldn't be tripping. I would have probably done it right there. It's like, well, since you like her so much, I'm going to leave. Y'all do what y'all gonna do. And girl, I just want you to know, it's not no hard feelings. I don't care. It's nothing. It's not like that. I just met dude. So, it ain't nothing. So don't feel like it's gonna be a problem or like you have to hide anything from me or trip around and give her a kiss on the cheek. Give him a hug and be out. That's how you handle your shit like a G. Okay? You don't be whining about it. Because one thing you cannot do is control anybody else's feelings. But shit, most people can't even control their own. So you don't have any power in this situation. So the best thing for you to do is to understand that and bow out gracefully, be on top of the situation. Don't let it get on top of you. Right? Question number 14. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group from Reading in Berkshire, UK. Me and a group of friends, all in the 20 to 33 age group, have mutually decided it's time to cut off one of our friends. She has started going down a dark path with frequent drug use and unsafe behavior. And trust me, we have tried so hard to get her help, but she refuses. Her underlying issues are being exacerbated by the drug use, and she is convinced it's not a problem, even though everyone in her life has already told her that she is no longer the same person she used to be. We knew her before, and she always had self-esteem issues, but ever since she started using, she has kind of started using drugs as an excuse to act on her negative patterns and be reckless. As her friends, it's affecting us too. She doesn't listen, and we're all tired of the extremely one-sided relationship that she has with us. She uses us for our apartments or therapy/advice, which she just ignores, wasting everyone's time. She's always high, 24/7, even when she's with us. And it's really sad because there's no friendship here anymore. She's a shell of who we knew her as. Recently, she cheated on her man, who absolutely did not deserve it, being the most supportive person she has in her life, and she didn't tell him. Well, duh, that's what cheating means. The person doesn't know. If they know, it's not cheating. She's abusing the proximity one of us has to her fling's place to crash while she waits for him, aka forcing our friend to be an accomplice to her cheating. They have broken up now, but she still sees the fling and uses our friend for her apartment. That's not okay. None of the above has been okay. We have all said individually how we are not okay with this, and she has always gotten standoffish. Recently, a few of us together told us how this friendship isn't working, but she refuses to understand what we say. Do we just cut her off completely now? We all know she needs help, but we have no clue what to do. She refuses to get therapy, which she can get for free, and we can't force it on her. But Deb, our lives are negatively affected too, and frankly, we can't fall down a hole with her. However, we don't want a huge thing with her to go down. Is it a complete blackout time? Is this a morally messed up thing to do, knowing that she's struggling? How can my friend group break up with this toxic friend who refuses to get help without being dragged into a big mess? Y'all are some wimpy motherfuckers. Let me just say that. I have never seen a group of people who are such fucking cowards. Weak. All y'all are weak as hell. This is all you have to do. It's more you than it is her. Just one of her. I'm not understanding all of this. All you have to do, Jim, is she trying to act like she don't understand. She does understand. All you all have to do is just stop accepting her calls. The girl whose apartment that she's going over, tell her, no, you can't come to my house anymore. I'm not your friend anymore. Leave me alone. Don't call me anymore, ever. That's all it takes. You think I'm going to let some bitch come up in my house and use it to cheat on her man? I didn't even let my own cousin do that shit. When I found out that she was trying to do that stuff, I straight told her, because I really liked her husband. Her husband, like, after my husband died, he was right there. He fixed my car, and he paid, to get my car worked on and stuff like that. I mean, the guy was just great. He was very kind to me. And so to see her do him like that, I just was like, why? I mean, I don't know what goes on in people's marriage. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say anything like that. But I'm just saying, you can't involve me in that, because the man has been nothing but kind and generous to me. So she, gonna try to say, well, if he calls, tell him that this. I said, no, I'm not gonna tell him that. I'm gonna tell him the truth. I'm gonna tell him that you said that if he calls, I'll tell you this lie. That's what I'm gonna say. Well, why would you do that? I said, because that's the truth. I'm like, I'm not a good liar. I'll tell people the truth. And so if, because that's what I could remember what really happened. I can't remember the lie. I don't remember jokes. I don't remember that kind of stuff. But I remember what happened to me. And so that's what I'm going to tell him. And she was so upset. But then guess what? Guess who didn't get used for no stories after that? See what I mean? So it's all in how you conduct yourself, and y'all is acting like some little scared rats, mice, bunnies, something. Just tell this silly bitch, you just a drug fiend, and we ain't trying to be affiliated with you. Don't call none of us. Don't come to our house. Don't ask for no favors. Don't look for us. Don't send me an email, a smoke signal, a carrier pigeon, a paper airplane, nothing. I'm done with you. Okay? Now, if you all say the same thing, then she'll get it. I'm just saying. She needs help, but she don't want it. You know what I mean? And she's a grown woman. So she's making her bed. Like my grandfather used to say, you're going to make your bed, you're going to lie in it. And that's what she would be doing. She would be sleeping in that bitch all by herself. Okay? So that's what you got to do. Find your nuts, lady, your ovaries. And your other friends, too. Just get rid of this cow. She's toxic. She's going to be bringing you down. The next thing you know, she's going to be running out of money for drugs. She's going to be coming up in your house stealing your shit. See, then you're going to want to be doing something. Get rid of her now. Okay? Because that's the direction that drug fiends go. So your shit start disappearing. You know what I mean? Your ring, you can't find your ring, your necklace. Then your apartment get broken into, your TV, your computer gone, your laptop, your tablets, all your stuff gone. And then you be trying to figure out what happened. Well, you done let the fool up in your house. They steal stuff. They steal your checks. They steal all kind of stuff. I don't mess with people who's drug fiends. They be using them like, nah, you can't come to my house. I'm not going nowhere around you. You are not coming to my house. Let's move on. Question number 15. This is a female in the 18 to 21 age group out of Calgary, Canada. How can I teach someone self-respect? Is that even possible? One of my friends who is 30 does not know how to respect herself. Every single guy she's ever dated has walked all over her, and she let them do it. Now, and then after they dump her, yes, dumped, not break up, dumped. Okay, dumped. We get it. Heartlessly, she still wants to cling on to them and even try to convince them to come back after how they treated her. I don't understand how someone can do that to themselves. Until they brutally scream or insult her or wear her down, she does not give up. I want to know how to teach her how to respect herself and not let other future relationships be like the last ones. Any tips for me? Buy her, I know there's like newer people that's on the market that have books on self-esteem. But I love this dude. When did he write these books? I think in the 90s. Nathaniel Branden, Branden. He has several books on self-esteem. I'm sure they're on Amazon. Any of those, get her those. Get her 2 of them. And wrap them up and give them to her for a gift. If she doesn't read, then you can get them on books on tape, the audio version, that she can listen to them in her car, on her iPad or iPhone, whatever. And then, hopefully that will do it, because there's really nothing you can do. You're a layman. You're not a professional, psychiatrist, psychologist, none of that. You're just a friend. And you have provided the support and understanding and suggestions and advice that you can. That's the limit of your assistance. The last thing you can do is, Dr. Branden is a professional. She can read his words and see if that helps her. I've recommended those books to thousands of women over the years, and most, write back or share with me that it did help them. So I feel confident about making that recommendation, because there's nothing you could do with this. This is this mentality, what you describe about how she hangs on like that. That's why in my video that I did about closure, I expressed that exact thing, because these women is basically, they say, well, they want to go to this guy that dumped them for, quote, closure, and they're looking for that from him. And I tried to explain, that would be a mistake, because if a guy dumped you, he doesn't care about you and your feelings or anything like that. And you come crying to him about, well, I need closure. He's going to say, well, yeah, good luck with that. If he's nice, or if he's like a savage like me, he's going to read you and tell you in tears in a puddle on the floor and tell you all about yourself and hope you die and all kind of other stuff. And then you still won't have the closure you're looking for. I don't even know what closure means. How do you get that? Especially from the person who doesn't give a fuck about you. Why would you ask them for anything? They gonna see that as an opportunity to rip your heart and feelings to shreds and then dance on it. Just, doing the merengue all over your feelings. Why would you do that to yourself? I don't understand it. But a lot of women do. I don't get it. I don't understand. I love that salsa dancing. Oh, anyway, I digress. These people, I don't know. I'm just in a special mood tonight. I think it started because I couldn't get online. I had to reboot my router several times, and finally I was able to get the internet to hook up so I could start the show. That's why I was late. Oh, okay. Anyway, let's move on. Question 16. This is a young man in the 26 to 32 age group from Vancouver. My girlfriend recently had a minor operation, and she's totally fine, but it left a 2-inch scar just above her bust. I've told her you can't really notice it unless you're looking right at it, but understandably she's quite self-conscious about it. She's even thrown out all her tops that don't have a high neckline, poor thing. I want her to feel beautiful again, and I let her know that she's perfect to me, but when we're being affectionate, I can't decide whether to kiss the scar to show her I don't care, whether that might upset her. Any advice you ladies can give would be much appreciated. No, you don't want to draw attention to it. This is, some people, these young girls that have such low self-esteem and just no confidence, any little thing that they perceive to be as a flaw, they magnify it to the size of fucking Mars and make it seem like, that's like their whole life. It's a 2-inch scar. One day I should show you the big one I have right here on my shoulder. They opened my shoulder completely up. My rotator cuff was flat like a pancake. It's supposed to hold that humerus like that, and it was like a little cup. And I just messed up my shoulder really bad and I'll fall down some stairs. And like I reached for something sometime and it would just like dislocate. It was crazy. So I had to have surgery. I actually had 2 surgeries. The first one, was an open repair. Then the second one was orthoscopic to go in and fix the rest of it. So this whole shoulder here has all kind of scars on it. You know what? I wear short sleeve tops and V-necks and back out stuff and don't give a fuck. And you know why? Because I can use my arm. After the doctors and therapists told me I would never be able to raise my arm above waist level. You know why that happened? Because I was determined that I was going to do what I needed to do to have my life back. I don't give a fuck about a scar. I care about using my arm. Now, your girlfriend, if it's something above her bust, then they probably had to take something out. They did do some kind of exploratory thing to see if it was cancerous. So she has her life, and she has both of her breasts, and she tripping about a scar. You need to put this into perspective for her because she's tripping, okay? I know you're trying to be nice and all of that kind of stuff, but she needs a firm talking to because she's being stupid right now. Well, I mean, I'm not a believer in God, so that don't have no bearing in my life. But my belief is in depth, okay? And the second they told me that that was the best estimate that they had, I said, yeah, okay. That's what you think. And I started doing physical therapy before I was even cleared to do physical therapy. And when I did therapy at the doctor's, I did 3 or 4 times as much at home. And when I wanted to advance myself with weights and stuff, that's what I did. I hired my trainer myself. After much research, I hired this guy, and I paid for it out of my pocket. Because he had expertise in the area that I, needed. I had to pay him. I was going broke. But, it was because I wasn't really working during that period of time. But I paid for him to help me because I was determined that I was going to get better. And I did. So, I'm giving myself the credit because I'm the one who did all the work and I'm the one who went broke paying for that shit. But, it's... where you have a determined to succeed at something, then you will. You don't let anything stand in your way, You don't let anything derail you from your dreams. If you stay focused on what you want out of your life and what you want to happen to you, and it will happen. But you let other people get in your head and tell you other stuff, and you be all subjected to, all these whims and silly stuff like, oh, I have a scar. Well, then you're going to have a problem. A scar, I don't give a fuck about a scar. I want to use my damn arm. I want to be able to play tennis and bowl and all the stuff that I used to do, and I can do it now. Okay? So I want, if you want to, you can even show her this part of the video. Let her get a different perspective on it, because she's worrying about something that's so minor. And in a few years, scars fade anyway. You get some sun and stuff, and the scars will fade. So it's really nothing to concern herself with. Let's move on. Question number 17. This is a young man in a 26 to 32 age group from Washington, D.C. I've read that women have a very good gut instinct and feelings, and they would quickly know if they like a guy or not. So I thought by the end of the first date or the first meet, since the guy is a stranger she met through a dating app, she will have a very good idea. If she agrees to a second date, dinner, isn't that a good sign? Why would she choose to reject a guy after the second date if the date went well? Can you explain this to me? Yes, and it doesn't mean that the date, your perception of what the date went well is your perception. You got to remember there's two people at this dinner table, right? Sometimes it's just as simple as, she's looking for some kind of like sparks, some heat, some excitement about looking at you or going out with you or, something. And what guys don't realize, because you guys are taught, to yourselves to look at women and be, sexually excited by what a woman looks like and all this stuff. But nobody tells you that women are looking for the exact same thing. You think it's only you. So you guys feel like, well, I make good money. I have a good job. I went to college. I have my own place. I have my own car. I pay all my bills. I have good credit. You think that's enough. You think that qualifies you to automatically get the woman that you want because you want her. I'm here to tell you those things are great, and those are foundational things that every adult should have. That doesn't make you special or unique. It doesn't give you extra brownie points. However, on top of that, what you need to have is a physical connection. So where she looks at you, her heart starts racing. Where she wants to fantasize about being laid up with you, kissing you, holding your hand, running into your arms. If that's not there, no matter what all the other stuff there is that you have, there's no heat, there's no chemistry, there's no desire for intimacy with you. Let me just be blunt. It means she don't want to fuck you, okay? Let's just be blunt here. I use a whole bunch of words to just say that one sentence. So, I hope that makes it clear. She might think that you're a wonderful person, but she don't want to fuck you. So that means she's not going to want to be your girlfriend. She's not going to want to be seeing you for date number 3, where most of y'all expect it to be booty time. Okay? She's not going to do that because she don't want to fuck you. Right, ladies? Am I talking about? Right? I mean, if you get with the dude and you don't feel no heat, I mean, what's that? That's like torture. It's like, oh my God, what the hell? Yeah, but I can just see, because that is, exactly, Shaky. That is how that's what I'm saying. That's how they think. They feel like, I check all the boxes, so, and I like you, so you should like me back. Why don't you like me back? And sir, I'm not saying that's you. Okay, I'm not saying that's you. But that is, unfortunately, a majority of young men in your age group. So the first date is just a meeting, right? Let's say there's like for a job application, you meet the MQs, right? You meet the MQs, so you make it to round 2. That's the second date. It's just like a job application process. Once you make the MQs, now they're going to look at your application and your supplemental questions. And sometimes they don't have all that, but they actually will call you in for an interview, right? So either way, let's just say it's an interview phase. And so you met the MQs, you went to round 2, they call you in for the interview. That's where you got weeded out. There was something they were looking for that you didn't have. There was some experience they wanted you didn't have. There was some personality traits they were looking for that you didn't have. There was something, even though you were good, you had the MQs, this and that, you're not going to make it to the job offer phase, which is the booty phase. You're not going to make it there. So you get weeded out from the job interview and they send you that dreadful letter. Thank you for applying for the position of blah, 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 but we have made another choice. I've chosen another applicant, however that letter goes. We've all gotten them. It's just like that, sir. It's just the same thing, okay? Jobs do the same thing. Women do the same thing. That's all it is, okay? You made the MQs and you went to round 2, but you got eliminated after the orals. Yeah, them form letters, I used to write those, and I just, have to send them emails to people. It's like, damn, this is so savage. We've found an applicant that we feel better fits the description of what we're looking for. Thank you for applying. And basically it's just saying, we don't like you, motherfucker. That's what the letter should just say, that. You just wasted our time, motherfucker. That's what you did. Go do something else with yourself. Yes, in another direction. Thank you, Amanda. So that's all it is, dude. I mean, you've experienced that with jobs, just chalking up to the exact same thing. I don't know why dudes be getting all in their feelings about it. If it's a woman, they feel like all bent out of shape and stuff. Let me put this up here. So if you listening to this show and think, well, I want to get my question on What the Fuck Tuesday, just follow the instructions right there. Scroll down to the show box, the show description box down below. Open it up, expand the box, scroll down because it's kind of near the bottom of it, all that text, and you'll see a link. Just click that link and it'll take you to the advice question submission form. Just fill it out. You can upload a question in video form or in written form. Most people do written form. I think they'd be scared. And then we'll see if it fits the pattern, and Candace will put it in or she will delete it. I don't know why she chooses to do that with some letters and not others, but it's not my thing. Okay? That's our agreement. I don't question it. If I start questioning it, then she's going to stop doing it, and then I'll have to change my whole format for the show, which I don't want to do. I like that surprise element. Okay, so let's move on to question number 18. This is a female in the 21 to 26 age group from Long Island, New York. I'm a senior in college, and a family member just told me something that has put reality into perspective for me. They said, how will you work a real job if you wake up at 1 p.m.? I have a serious issue with insomnia or not being able to sleep, and I've had this for 5 years. I currently work part-time, a remote job in person, and attend classes in person / work study program. When I have to wake up for 8 a.m. classes, I won't fall asleep till 1 or 2. But now it's so bad I can't sleep until 4. My parents constantly make fun of me and say I sleep the day away when I have off days and I can wake up later. It started when I got panic attacks when I was like 17. Our teacher fainted in class, and I think that's what weirdly triggered me to spiral. I don't have those anymore. I pull myself together, but I think I'm a bit of a mess. My family often tells me that I should do more or run to stop being so anxious, and I'm trying, but my sleep schedule is still not improving. Another family member says I just shifted my internal clock, which might be the case. I'm scared I won't be able to handle myself in the real world like the family member said. School and remote job are not the same as a real job, and I do have it easy now. Schoolwork compared to the pressure and commitment of a job have me terrified that I won't have my act together by next year. Please help. Girl, do you realize that there are jobs where people work swing shift, graveyard? Okay? So your internal clock shifting to different hours, you can work in the real world just like everybody else. There's 3 8-hour sessions in a day. Okay? Pick one. And not everybody works 8 to 5 or 8 to 4, whatever it is. Not everybody does that. Okay? When you go to the hospital and it's the middle of the night, guess what? There's people in there working. 2, 3, 4 a.m. They're on the job. Who you think is manning fire stations? Okay? Police stations. EMTs. All them people, they work weird shifts. Okay, so you go and work in one of them kind of environments and you'll be just fine. Yeah, they make more money because they get that differential. They have people like, janitorial staff. I mean, all kind of people work, strange hours. So don't worry about that part. That's just extra drama. There are things that you can drink different kinds of teas and stuff. They had this tea I used to drink called Sleepy Time. And it was like a herb tea. And it actually did help me go to sleep. Melatonin will help some people. And I'm going to suggest, too, that you go to the doctor and get some blood work done and get your thyroid checked. Because thyroid problems will make people have insomnia. So make sure that's not your issue, hypothyroidism. Okay? If you're drinking coffee, stop. Some people are extra sensitive to it, especially if you're drinking it late in the day. It could keep you up at night. I know I love coffee, but I can't drink any past like 11 a.m. If I do after that, I'm going to be up all night. It's not good. Okay. And then exercise. Exercise is good, but you can't do it at night before you go to bed. You need to do it at least 2 or 3 hours before, it's time to wind down. Warm baths also help with lavender. Put some lavender essential oil on your pillows. That's very relaxing and, calms your heart rate down and helps you sleep. Magnesium too. Okay, so, look in the chat room over here. Well, I feel like it's like hair on my face. Look in the chat room. There's some suggestions coming in from the people there. And then, listen to what I say. So between these sources, you should get a handle on this. It shouldn't be so problematic. Question number 19. This is a young lady in the 21 to 26 age group from Sacramento, California. A couple of months ago, I met up with a guy from Tinder for what we both expected to be a hookup. We both said that we weren't looking for anything serious in the beginning. Turns out we had insane sexual chemistry and decided that we would see each other a second time. After that, we became FWBs. I set the ground rules and he agreed to them. It mostly consisted of open communication and included not being exclusive. I still saw other people while we were sleeping with each other, and I'm sure he did too. The second time we saw each other, he told me that he had been in a long-distance relationship for months and had just come out of it when he started speaking to his ex from 5 years ago. He said he didn't know whether he would get back together with her. I knew that this was always a possibility, but I didn't ask more because I didn't want to know more. Anyway, he told me tonight that she and him are getting more serious, and even though it's still early, he thinks it's best he stops sleeping with me out of respect for her. I agreed. We weren't in a relationship or a situationship. Our arrangement was purely sexual, and there was no point in starting drama over it. We've decided to go our separate ways since we weren't friends to begin with anyway. It actually saves a lot of the messiness surrounding this sort of thing, which I'm glad about. But I still feel slightly empty, as if I've broken up with someone on good terms. I can't be angry at him because he didn't do anything wrong. I'm not necessarily sad because I didn't have romantic feelings for him. I did feel a connection, but that was induced by the sex, not him as a person. I don't really know what to do with myself. I'm happy that he's found someone he wants to be with, but I'm sad for myself because I've lost someone I had amazing chemistry with, especially because I'm 95% sure I won't ever see him again. I don't really know what to do since it wasn't a breakup, but it wasn't nothing either. I should add that I don't feel used in any way. I know this is common after FWB situations end, but I was using him as much as he was using me. And per the terms of our arrangement from the very beginning, neither of us were expecting a relationship to come out of this. How do I deal with this weird mix of emotions? You slap yourself. Now, you don't have to do that, but let me just explain this to you. It's normal. I mean, it's like this kind of thing. Obviously you like the dude. You spent time with him, you slept with him, and you look forward to it. And, it was a good time, and you guys had little conversations and all sorts of stuff here. So, there would be some kind of affection for the young lad. You know what I mean? Does that mean that you're in love with him? No. Does it mean that you have a commitment with him? No. Does it mean that you want to have a commitment with him? No. But you had some kind of affection for him, much like you would have, I don't know, for like a pet goldfish or something. Your bearded dragon, your something. So, you care about it, but it's like, you don't want anything bad to happen to it, but, whatever. So that's why, this will fade in time. It's no big deal. You have a lot of emotions about it. So maybe what you shouldn't do in the future is you shouldn't have any more FWB situations. Because just imagine if this had gone on longer. Say you would have caught feelings and been like all kinds of messed up. So, yeah, you had like the structure in place and all of that, but emotionally you didn't have yourself in control. That's why you're having all these emotions now. It's fine to feel, like I said, some kind of affection for the person and, whatever, like a buddy or whatever. But it's like, to me, it's like when I work on jobs, I have people that I have, that I'm friendly with at the job. We might go out to lunch or something, hang out or whatever. But when I leave that job, I don't think about the motherfuckers ever again. I just don't. And so to me, if you have to have that kind of attitude when it comes to these FWB situations. You have to be a person who has control of your emotions. You know yourself, and you control your emotions. You don't let situations or other people control them. If you don't have that kind of self-control and that kind of what's the word I'm looking for? You just can't self-regulate in that way. You haven't developed that skill, or you just maybe never have it because of your personality. Then FWBs will probably not be the way for you to go. Okay. Self-discipline, that's the word I was looking for. Okay. Question number 20. We got 26 questions, so we're molding through. These are shorter, so this is working out well. Female 18 to 21 from Louisville, Kentucky. My question is, how long after knowing that you're done with the relationship do you actually take to break up? Seconds? I'm sorry if this question seems rude to some people. I get that some people do break up right away. It wasn't like that for me. It was hard to let go. I want to know how it was like for other people. So you guys she said she want to know what you had. Did you have a hard time breaking up once you realized that, that he was a knucklehead? Or did you have a hard time moving on from the knuckleheadedness? So you're done with the person you're dating. How long does it take? Do you try to see it differently one last time? Or do you go straight to the breakup? It took me almost 3 months. I tried to break up once and we decided to try again, but it made me die inside. While I liked his company, I didn't want him as my partner anymore, and anything related to physical stuff began to seem like a chore. I couldn't stand it, but for some reason, I still waited before making the cut. So your question is what? How okay, you just want to know what we do. I do it that second. I feel like this. I keep telling y'all. See, Deb is of the mind that I keep saying this, and I guess it just hasn't sunken in. Time, your time on this planet, the time that you have on this earth, this plane, is finite. You should never waste not 1 second of it on anybody or anything that's not giving you what you want. Not 1 second, because that 1 second is you could have been using to do something else, something sensible, something that's going to bring you a benefit, happiness, joy, money, something. Instead, you wasted it on a fool. And, it tends to not be such a big deal. I think when you're young, everybody thinks, I have 60 years, 80 years to, worry about that, this and that. You don't know that. You don't know when your ticket is going to get punched. Okay? You just don't know. So you don't waste your time. So you see a situation, you in a relationship, and it's, just all kinds of messed up. You miserable. You unhappy. He's not meeting your need. He's lying and game playing and corner cutting, acting a fool, not holding up his end of the bargain. What do? You cut ties and you move on. Why do I keep feeling like there's buzz on me? You cut ties and you move on. That's what you do. And you waited 3 months. See, I don't understand that at all. In 3 months, you could have had 2 or 3 men in that much time. I don't understand it. I'm the savage auntie. I guess so. I never really thought of it that way, but I'm done. If I'm done with you, why do I need to keep looking at you? See, that's the way I look at it. I don't want to look at you. I'm done with you, sir. Get out of here. Get on down the dusty trail with your hobo ass. Ain't nobody trying to spend not no more time with you. I'm done here. I'm like, wow. Let's move on. Question number 21, female 27 to 32 out of Columbus, Ohio. My friend has been talking to this woman for about a year. They had seen each other at parties, but never alone. Okay. That's like somebody you just see around. Our story takes place when they hadn't seen each other for about 9 months. They had only spoken once every couple of weeks, 2 to 4. So that's like once a month. Never long conversation, and he always initiated them. 90% were just typical niceties. How have you been? Busy with school? How about you? Those kind of texts or conversations. But one day he decided to, quote, surprise her at work. Oh, did he now? She never told him where she worked, but it was public on Facebook. She was dumb. They weren't even Facebook friends, by the way. She works and lives 3 hours away from him. He didn't even ask her if she was working that day and just showed up thinking it would be a welcome surprise and that she would probably be there. He assumed that they could hang out and talk for a while, that she would make time for him at work. She gave him about 20 minutes and he was disappointed. I think that this was really creepy. He doesn't see an issue with it. I think that most of the time they were speaking, she was dropping hints that he just didn't get. He denies it and gets defensive and feels, quote, used. I've known him for 7 years, and this behavior is unlike anything I've ever predicted him doing. Okay, your friend is. Since they spoke so sparingly and never in a romantic sense, he was never told where she works. I feel this isn't okay, and I would personally have called the cops because it seems like stalking. Am I wrong for how I'm seeing this, or is he out of touch with reality? Perhaps both? Would love any advice or opinions about this. No, your friend is a weirdo. Okay, the fact that he got defensive and says that he feels used about a woman who talked to him. She never called him. They never went on a date. She never asked him for anything. He reached out to her every 2 to 4 weeks. She politely, interacted with him, but out of politeness, just social niceties, nothing personal, as you stated. And then suddenly he shows up at her job after driving for 3 hours to get there. And she never told him that that's where she worked, but he just shows up. That is stalking. Now, if this were me and he did that, I would go to security after he left and said, you guys see that guy? He was on the security camera. I don't know what his problem is. I think he's a stalker. If you see him on the property ever again, please call the police immediately. There's something wrong with him. I've never been on a date with this man. I barely talk to him. It's just someone that I see here and there, a remote acquaintance that I see here and there when I'm out, with my friend group. He's not even a friend. This lady, she should probably change her phone number too. At least block his number. But I think I would change mine so he would get that. This number is no longer in service. Yeah. This dude, something's wrong with him. The thing that's scary is this, quote, feels used part. That jumped out at me. Did you not ask him? I mean, that would have been something to follow up on. It's not too late to go back and ask him, say, when we talked about that, you said that you feel used. I'm kind of confused about that. Can you explain to me how she used you? What happened? Okay, have him break that down to you. What's in his head so that you can get him straight that nobody was using him. But see, this sounds like that incel shit. That's what this sounds like, that incel nonsense. That sense of entitlement. And then because she rejected him, now he mad. See. No, he went to her job. 3 hours away. He drove for 3 hours to get there and show up at her job unannounced and uninvited. Question number 22, female, 26 to 32 from San Jose, California. I found a text on my boyfriend's phone from another man about hooking up. Did you now? Ooh. I then snooped on his phone and found a website where he had placed an ad seeking men for discreet encounters. And you still with him? I confronted him and he became very enraged, called me some names, then went silent and left. I gave it a few days and sent him a message saying if this is how he feels, we should expect we should expect had a conversation. Okay, I don't know what she was saying. We should have had a conversation about it. That I'm here for friendship if he needed to talk. He quickly accused me of trying to make myself feel better, that he did those things but didn't act on them, so he's not wrong. Conversation got ugly, and now I'm blocked from social media and his phone. I know going through his phone was wrong, but I'm not sure I'm the one to blame for this. Nope, you had divine intervention. The universe put things in motion for you to find out what was going on. Your guardian angel, your guardian spirits, whoever, just directed you to that phone. Shh. But you had never looked before, right? And then just in time to see that, and then to scroll through and see the other evidence. That's what happened. It was meant for you to see that. It was a spiritual thing. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. He likes dick. Okay? He likes dick and you like dick. So that means that's not the relationship that's not going to really work. Okay? Because y'all going to be in competition for the same thing. That don't work. Okay? That don't work. So don't worry about this. Don't think about this. Don't give it a second thought. I'm glad you wrote because it did provide some comedy relief. But it's not anything for you to concern yourself. Make sure you go to the nearest doctor. Get the full run of STI tests, blood tests, everything. Everything they offer, you get it. To make sure that you don't have nothing brewing. Okay? Then you go back in 90 days and do it all over again. That's what you're going to do. Yeah. This is just so common, though. These dudes, something is wrong with these men. I just don't understand it. What happened to just men just being regular? Everybody want to be jumping the fence. This one, that one, like a kangaroo. Whoop, 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 whoop. They can't decide what they want to do. And they can't even decide if they want to be a man. Oh, no, I'm going to be a woman. I'm non-binary. I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, oh, you all kinds of fucked up in the head. That's what you really are. But, these dudes, and then they want to involve a woman in that stuff. It's like, dude, just go be what you want to be, but don't be trying to get a lady involved in it who wants a regular dude. She wants a dude that she can get married to and have kids with and, go to family events with and stuff. Not a dude who's dipping and dabbing with other men. Come the fuck on. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, I'm like, dudes, they be trying, these bi dudes be having it the you're being discriminatory. It's like, call it whatever the fuck you want to. But you like dick and I like dick, so that means we're incompatible. Okay? That's what that means. So, and they be trying to force you to date them and stuff and be arguing with you about it and stuff. Like, what the hell? It's like, wow. Such a sense of entitlement. Okay, so here we go to the next letter, number 23 of 26. Female, 226, Bristol, England. So my partner has a weird fetish. And I want to get your opinion about it. Sorry, Auntie, this is a bit of a weird one. So my partner of 8 months enjoys the feel of his own hand over anything else. Oh my God. I long for the days when I just got letters that were just regular. Just, he cheated on me or something. Just basic shit. Just basic shit. I can handle that, but in order for him to enjoy it most, he expects me to drop what I'm doing, put on some 10-inch heels, and text him in this weird way so he can read it while he parties. Parties is in quotes. I'm now at the point where I don't enjoy it. He's doing it a lot more lately, and it's now affecting my sleep and daily life. How would you suggest I handle this? Kicking him out? Or you leaving? That's how I would suggest it. Why would you be in a relationship like this? How is this anything sensible for you? Yeah, I'm telling you. That's like Swift Choices. It's like, what? Why you think we call it show what the fuck? Okay, because that's what everybody's thinking right now. I know all y'all thinking that. I can't be the only one sitting up here thinking, what the fuck is this? What the fuck did you date him for? What the cuss kind of weirdo is this fool? Oh no. I would so be chucked up the deuces. Soon as he's this hand thing, okay, that alone is too much. And then they want me to play dress up Barbie and march around in 10-inch heels like some kind of like female impersonator or something. No, we're not gonna do that. You want somebody to wear 10-inch heels? You put them on with your big old size 12 feet. You prance around. I'm not doing that shit. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's like, whatever happened to just regular dudes, just regular, normal dudes? It's just like they all disappeared in a puff of smoke. It's just all these rejects and weirdos left. Whew, I don't even know what to say. But girlfriend, you know, don't you have any standards, any kind of boundaries, any kind of expectations for what you what kind of interactions you would have with your man in a relationship? What is this that you think you should have participated in? The second this became, you know, he exposed this to as, you know, his little proclivity, which is no way intimate, no way building a relationship between the two of you. You are merely the vehicle for him to get off. Okay, he's not sure. You could be anybody. You call this your boyfriend, but he's not. You just a thing to him. Understand what time it is. Get your shit in your hefty bags and get the hell on. Okay? And any in the future, you have a guy who tells you some weird shit like this, or you see him, he got his own panties and, you know, weird shit going on, any kind of little weird, get rid of him immediately. Okay? Don't even subject yourself to it. He's got problems. Mental, emotional, psychological, whatever. It's just, yeah, he's exactly. Perfect Nail summed it up totally. He's your client and you ain't even getting paid. Because, you know, they charge people big money for that kind of stuff. Start charging his ass $150 a pop. And then that'll be your money to move. Well, I just couldn't. I would be laughing at it. I just know way in this world I could respect a man who was weird like that. I just would just start itching. Question number 24, female 30-36 from Liverpool, England. Dang, a lot of ones from the UK today. Thanks, Jennifer. My boyfriend and I have been together for 6 years. I finally let go of my job in another country in Europe and agreed to move to his house a year ago. He's always been a bit critical / blunt and moody and not wanted sex as much, said it wasn't me. But when I moved in, he was nonstop picking and having a go at me for not leaving the kitchen in a certain way. The list is endless. For nearly a year, the sex has dwindled, and now he doesn't initiate even basic affection. You've been together 6 years. You moved in with him a year ago. Okay. He lacks warmth, and his swearing has increased, and he's threatened me to move out 4 times, twice acting like nothing has happened. He told me he loved me, but then the next minute he's moody, and if I question it, he says F off. I made a big sacrifice to move in for this. It's so confusing. I don't know if he's just an avoiding cold person or what. No, you know, we do know you're an idiot. That's what we know. You're a fool. You are sitting up there letting someone emotionally and verbally abuse you, and instead of writing about that, you're worried about what you gave up to come and be with him. Girlfriend, your focus is all kinds of fucked up and on the wrong stuff. Okay? Get your shit. See, I need to make like a banner so I can just press the button and it's going to, I think I'll do that. And it's just going to say, get your shit, put it in your hefty bags and get ghost. Okay? Just like you moved in, move out. Go back to wherever it was you came from. Go back there and change your phone number so he can never call you again. And who dates somebody for 6 years anyway? That's just too long. All that time. See, time again. You done wasted all them years of your life on this dusty fool. I'm like, see, this is another thing I say, you know, when women want to move and stuff, they want to move across the country, across the world and all that stuff to be with some motherfucker. Don't ever do that. If he doesn't come to get you and you all get married, which is still kind of shaky, but, you know, at least you got some legal protections if you're married. You go and he pays for you to come and be with him. He has everything set up for you to be there. Then you don't move. Because then by the time you do all this, then she paid, she sacrificed her job, she sacrificed her living thing. She lost all her friends and everything to go and live with this fool to get treated like this. I wish I would. he don't want to live with her. He don't even want to be with her anymore. But I'm just saying, after 6 years, she ought to know that. Any man who wanted to be with you would be married to you if within that length of time. Well, he wasn't trying to be with you like that. Question number 25. This is the next to last question. Female, 26 to 32, from Tacoma, Washington. Dad, with a bunch of exclamation marks. My boyfriend of 6 years forgot my birthday last week. Not only did this clown forget my birthday, he also tried to make me seem ungrateful for being upset that he requested off on dates that were a whole week later than my birthday. My birthday was on Friday, so I'm trying to go do something fun with my friends and family and, of course, my boyfriend. I'm also about to start a new job, so I can't just ask off multiple days at a time. When I asked him about switching the days, he said he didn't want his boss to think he was lying, ? I can understand forgetting because he does have a hard time remembering anything, and he works full-time and goes to school full-time. So, yeah, I guess I get it. But to try and gaslight me by saying I'm being ungrateful is even worse. What would you and the ladies of the squad do in this situation? Oh, I would break up with him. Let me explain something to you. Do you know that they have these things called smartphones? Did you know that? These motherfuckers can get on the internet right in your hand. It's like a computer. Like what we used to have that take up a whole room. Now you can carry it in your hand. You even have it on your wrist like this. And can get on the internet and send texts and stuff. It's fucking amazing. And what you do is you go into the phone and they have this thing called a calendar program. And you set things. And not only could you set it, one time you can set it so it recurs for like into infinity. So a man who cared about remembering his woman's birthday, even if he didn't have a good memory, he would put it in his phone so that it popped up a week beforehand, a couple of days beforehand, and then the day of, so that he would remember. He would get a reminder that your birthday's coming up, and then he would go and he would get you a present, and he would prepare, make reservations. He would do all this kind of stuff because even if he doesn't remember that, he would remember to it's in his phone already. So he doesn't really have to remember because it's going to electronically remind him. Did you know that technology exists? It's fucking amazing, girlfriend. It is freaking amazing. So you're making excuses for how he treated you by saying that he forgets and all that stuff. You're stupid. That's why I said you don't give him an excuse for this. What you do is you realize that your 6 year relationship is over. Whatever he got time off to do, it wasn't to be with you. Understand what time it is. Okay? It was not to be with you. It's to do something, but it's not to be with you. It don't have nothing to do with your birthday either. So whatever you're doing with this young lad, sleeping with him, living with him, whatever, change courses immediately, veer left, and deuce out. Okay? That's what you need to do. Because this here is wasting time. And you only 26 to 32 age group and you've been with this clown for 6 years? I can't even date nobody for 6 months who's going to be doing some dumb shit like this. No. Next. Okay, and here's our final question. Usually that would be it, but we got 26 today instead of 25 like we usually do. So let me read this. This is a female, 26 to 32 age group from Grand Rapids, Michigan. When me and my baby's dad first started dating, I didn't tell him that I'd slept with 2 guys that work at the same company as him. Oh. Before I met him, obviously, I was being selfish. I really liked him and knew he wouldn't like this about me, so I kept it to myself. Ooh, this sounds juicy. After 2 months of dating, I realized I had to tell him as we were about to become official. I told him and it was awful. He was angry and disgusted. He didn't know the guys, but occasionally had to see them at work. I felt humiliated. Oh, he felt humiliated. It was awful for both of us, but we struggled through because other than that, we had an amazing connection and loved being around each other. Our relationship continued, but he would often bring it up. I eventually tried to end things because I realized he couldn't get over it, and I was sick with guilt and shame, and also knew I couldn't live a life where I was punished for my mistake forever. But he would talk me out of it and say we was able to get over it and that he loved me, and so we carried on. I fell pregnant. He continued to bring it up, call me names, and make me feel like a lying slut. I guess that's what I am, but wow. But knew I couldn't raise a child in that environment. I couldn't take the accusations anymore. I moved out and we broke up. He is happier now that we aren't together. I think I needed to be the one who ended it, as I guess he wasn't brave enough. He's continuing on with his life and plans to see the baby on the weekends. I, on the other hand, have had to quit my job, claim benefits to support me and the baby, and have no idea how or when I will be able to afford to go back to work. I am so happy to have my beautiful baby and excited to meet him, but I also feel resentful of my ex. I don't even know what I'm asking here. I just feel so angry and abandoned. I guess I secretly hoped when I leave and he realizes the baby won't have his dad around, then he would get over the past. Do I have any right to be annoyed? Yes, at yourself, though. Not at him. See, why would you go and tell him about what you did with other men before you even met him? So they work at the same company. What, did they only have 5 employees or something? So it was going to be obvious he was going to have to see him every day? Why would you do that? If you know he don't even know the dude, so why would you want to tell him that? It happened before you even met him. Okay, everything that happened before you met him, before you started getting with him, is like off limits. It's not to be discussed. You fucked up. And so you brought all of this on yourself. Then you went back and compounded the felony by not keeping your birth control tight in a situation you could already see was shaky. And then you want to have a baby. What did you want to do that for? Now you bring a baby into some bullshit where it's not going to have his father and it's going to be in an unstable, ridiculous situation in poverty because your ass can't figure out how to get some money and have a job and take care of a baby at the same time. This is a fucking disaster. You made a whole bunch of stupid decisions. Please get yourself together. You're going to be somebody's mama now. You cannot be being this stupid. You have to make better decisions. Yep, you never tell. You never talk about anything. I mean, the dudes are like, well, how many men have you slept with? Why would you need to know that? Well, I just want to know. So, people in hell want ice water too. I don't know what to tell you. Well, why won't you tell me? Because it's none of your fucking business. That's why. Well, I will tell you how many women, you notice how I'm going through this? Because I've had this conversation before when I was younger. Now I just say, fuck you. And I'm done with the dude. We don't have, but when I was younger, and these are the conversations, what I'm telling you, these are the exact words that they would use. Well, I would tell you, about the women, my women, if you ask me, but I don't care. I don't want to know. Well, why don't you want to know? Because I don't give a fuck. I mean, if they were so great, grand, and wonderful, you would still be with the bitch, right? Which you ain't. So why do I care? And then they just sit there and look at you. And I don't be getting mad. I just be looking just like I'm looking right now. Like, are we really having this conversation? I'm so confused right now. I don't understand it. But even though this is the main thing is, even if they tell you something, and this goes for dudes too. Okay, so you ask her for a number and she gives you one. How do you know it's the truth? How you gonna verify that? Because for me, no matter how many men I screwed, I never admitted to more than 3. It's 3, and one of them was my husband. And they just look at you because they want to say you a lie, but they can't say you a lie because they don't. What they gonna say? Say, oh yeah, it was just 3. I admit to 3. That's all I admit to. You know why I feel like I'm okay with that? Because, if you only want to count the ones that matter. So to me, the ones that matter is the first dick I ever had, the best dick I ever had, and the dick that I'm getting right now. So there's only 3. You see my logic here, ladies? 3. First, best, present. That's it. 3. So did I lie? No. Because everything else was like uneventful, a non-motherfucking factor. I just try to tell you. So I always say 3. That's my strategy. See, I done tried to give y'all some game. 3. That's it. So, yeah, you brought all this on yourself, young lady. I don't know what to tell you. This is sad. I don't know. You might want to think about asking if he wants to take custody. Give him the baby. And if that doesn't work, then give it up for adoption, because neither one of you have the sense of a jaybird. Neither one of you need to be parents. There's just too much stupidity going on between the two of you. That's what I have to say about that whole thing. Okay? One more time, if you want to get your letter on the What the Fuck Tuesday show, this is the process. You just submit it via the relationship advice submission form, which you will find in the show description down below, or on the website survivingdating.com. Up in the top nav bar, you'll see a sign that says Get Advice on the nav bar. Just click that. It takes you to the exact same form, where no matter how you get there, it's the same form. And fill it out completely. Click the little box, which is the electronic signature, electronic releases, and then we will consider your submission for a future broadcast. That's what we're going to do. We will be back here on Friday. We're back on Friday. I got to catch up with my friend Alma to try to do that show about the money and losing your housing and stuff. She's supposed to be my guest on that, but we're having trouble coordinating our schedules. So we'll do that at some point. But what we're going to have on Friday is the show on violence against Black women and girls. We're going to talk about some of the statistical, the really horrific stats on it. And what, why it's increasing, and what, if anything, that we can do to turn this around, because it's getting worse. It's getting worse. And, people say, well, they want to call it domestic violence. And I'm like, it's not, because it doesn't happen in the homes. It just you walking up and down the street. And it just, these Black men are just losing their minds. It's just crazy. So we're going to talk about that. I'm trying to find some really good guests to bring on that work in the field, and I'm hoping that they, short notice those. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed and hope that I can get you some guests. But in the meantime, you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then be sure to share a video or two. We got a lot to offer here on the channel, and it would be good to have you guys share a link or something to help the channel grow, get the word out to your girls that need to be here learning and developing their self-esteem and their confidence, and how to set boundaries and all the things that we teach young ladies here on this channel. I lead the pack, but my squad is, got my back, and they are just as much as part of this healing journey that the young women take once they come to this channel. So it's like a group effort. Okay, we got some loyals that have been here for years, and then a lot of new people that are very enthusiastic supporters of the channel. But I want you all to know I very much appreciate your time spent here with me, because time is important, and I appreciate that you shared some of yours with me. Thank you, Lady Boss, for all that you do and all that you are, your great support. Thanks to everybody who made a super chat donation, and my continued supporters on the Patreon page. Thanks, y'all. I will see you guys on Friday night. Bye-bye.